checks echo, I'm the sound of the brawl. Canvas creaks, flesh slaps, bodies rise and fall. Steel cage dreams, no escape. All pain, blood stains mixed with the sweat and the chain. Adrenaline surging my veins, spit fire. Crowd chants feeding my soul's desire. Turnbuckles tremble when my wrath collides. Glory's the belt and I'm taking the pride. The squared circle where legends collide. No mercy, just a wild ride. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom, the squared circle digest. Pyros ignite, shadows dance in the glow. Ringside roar, it's a gladiator show. Chokeholds tighter than the grip of the night. Climbing the ropes to new championship heights. The mental battlefield, no room for doubt. Every move calculated, every scream a shout. The bell tolls louder than a sinner's regret. This is the place where the bold never forget. The squared circle where legends collide. No mercy, just a wild ride. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom, the squared circle digest. The squared circle where legends collide. No mercy, just a wild ride. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom, the squared circle digest. Circle Digest!
Oh, it is Tuesday, 7p, the place to be. It is the Squared Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley, the great Frankie Fresco, along for the ride. How we doing, sir?
I'm feeling a lot better, man. I was
long week for you last week, right?
Yeah, I was busy, man. I had a lot of things going on. It was Miami Music Week. It was also Ultra, so I was busy working Miami Music Week. Met a lot of famous DJs. Shout out to some of the guys and gals that I saw out there. I saw Bonnie and Clyde, which was a famous electronic DJ. Frank Walker, Alan Walker. Those guys are very big in the music industry. I got to see Layback Luke, say what's up to him. I had not seen him since Los Angeles. And then obviously just up and coming other DJs that came in there. There were these two guys that were funny. They're called the Polar Bears. They're really, really funny. They're like, they remind me of Dead Mouse. They have like these big polar bear heads, and they DJ with the polar bear heads on. So it's kind of like funny. I don't know if they ever will become really big, but hey, at least they're trying. But shout out to everybody that I work with. I want to give a shout out to my boy B-Side for giving me an opportunity. And Skinny helping me out there as well. And shout out to Enrique Santos' DJ. He's a friend of mine now. We met, we hooked up, we were working together all weekend. So shout out to my boy Mecadon. He is big out there. Shout out to Panama. And then of course, shout out to everybody who went to Ultra, my friends, T Lake that was out there with me, and so was Solo Key. So bro, I had a lot of people, everybody, all of us. We were all working, we were all enjoying our time. A lot of work, a lot of grind, a lot of hustle. But back to wrestling, baby. That's what we're here for. And I feel a lot better in the sense of like I still have, I have a little bump here. I have a little, yeah. Adrian, hook up as we went ahead and we hooked up together as far as like working together. You always gotta think these damn like bad things, bro. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so I still have a little lump here, which is it could be better. And one last thing, shout out to my mom. Happy early birthday, Miss Fresco out there. She's turning 70 years old. The big 7-0 tomorrow. So your boy Frankie Fresco and DiTrapio. If you guys probably don't know DiTrapio, my brother, we're going to the Marlins game, inviting my mom to the Marlins game.
Awesome.
So we're going to the Marlins game tomorrow.
And they're not that bad right now, so that's good.
No. Look, man, I'm a fan of the Marlins. Obviously,
Yeah.
I DJ'd for them. I've seen them since they first came out and everything. I just get upset at them when they kind of like push the fans to the side, when they don't care. When they don't care, that's when it hurts me, because I'm like, I get pissed off. I got tons of Marlin jerseys. So if I wasn't a Marlins fan, I would tell you, the only team I'm not a fan of is the University of Miami Hurricanes football team. That's the only one. Everything else in Miami, even the college basketball girls and guys, I'm a fan of. I like the Cane girls.
All right. First off, happy birthday, Mama Fresco.
Thank you. Thank you.
Second off, I'm a big fan of the Florida Marlins.
Okay.
Not so much the Miami Marlins. That's where I'll go with that.
The Florida Marlins were a lot. They were
Oh,
champions.
happy birthday to Tony, too, as well. So, Adrian, make sure. I forgot about that. Yeah, happy birthday. Today's Tony's birthday. Look at that.
Yes, that is
Tony,
Tony's birthday. Shut
and
up.
then Mama Fresco tomorrow. My daughter is the next day.
Jeez.
My nephew's the day after. I mean,
Everybody.
we got a day. Every day of the week is filled up
Everybody.
this week,
everybody.
man.
It's awesome. Why
He's
did
not
you say-
lame, man.
Why did you
Adrian-
say I'm so lame? Why?
I think he got mad because you
think
you
he
called him out for his take on the hooked up.
Oh, or maybe he's just pissed off because I said that the only team I don't like is the Canes.
Oh, you know what? Maybe that's why he's saying you're lame. I don't know which way. It's hard to figure out Adrian sometimes. He gets mad at different things.
Yeah, he does.
He's a
He's
cool
very,
mofo.
very
He's a
sensitive.
cool mofo, but
very sensitive, bro.
I don't know about sensitive. He sometimes I don't know which way he's going. I think he's going left. He's got the left blinker on, but he turns right. And I don't know. And I follow the wrong way and stuff, man. That's what happens. But yeah, so we got a lot going on. We're only going to be on for about an hour, hopefully. I know we say that usually, but I really mean that today because I got some stuff to do. Since traffic held me up and I didn't get home until super late. I want to start real quick, and this probably won't take long. But I feel like the greedy TKO, and it's in the title, it might kill wrestling for the WWE fans. And why I say this is this, man. And I go back to the old school days, and I get wrestling changes over time. But think what the wrestlers had to do to get people into the arenas. 605 WTBS, the Superstation. The best match was like Arn Anderson versus Tim Horner. Everything else was enhancement talent versus other guys. Then they would do interviews, and they would talk asses into the arena.
Okay.
And prices weren't crazy. So that method could work because you're like, oh, for a family, you go watch it. Vince McMahon going into Hogan and everything else, he kept the prices within range. Did they go up? Yes. If you want to sit front row, you're going to pay for it. But when you watch the shows, the talent was still there to get you into the arena. And it was priced at a point to where, you know, you could watch the wrestling and then you go and you attend the wrestling event and you could be entertained. Now, I feel TKO prices the tickets so much, the expectation is putting a lot of pressure on everybody, from the producers to the writers to everybody on the show. And I go to that for this, the WWE with WrestleMania, right? WrestleMania's coming up. Originally it was 42,000 seats. They got close to 42 and they raised up to 44 now, and they're right around 40 on both nights. So what do? They announced John Cena as the host of WrestleMania. Why? Because John Cena, last year was his tour, and people showed up and showed out for it. Now, what did you watch last night? And then this will kind of go into the Raw recap as well, Frankie. This is where I was kind of going in. Last night, how did the show start?
Remind me, I forgot.
Cody and Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, yes, that was really good, actually.
Yeah, no, it was good. But, like, again, we're 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. Now, all of a sudden, Stephanie's involved in Cody and Randy? And then you bring Triple H out to get involved with the Oba and Brock Lesnar. Again, it's so feels like it's desperate that everybody's like, we got to make this work. Why? Because the greed. NXT Stand and Deliver is this Saturday.
Yeah.
And I believe Adrian's having a pre and post show for that as well. I don't know if you announced it yet or if I just did it for him on purpose or accident, whatever I did there. But I checked. Do you know how much the ticket is to get in that building? The cheapest ticket for an NXT PLE.
Don't tell me it's more than $200 because I'll be pissed.
$191.
Holy crap, that's crazy.
Do you know how much it is to get into Raw next week in, I believe it's Houston?
Probably like $300?
$74.80. It is cheaper to get into Raw than it is to get into your developmental PLE.
Well, at least they're... well, where is the developmental PLE taking place?
It's Stand and Deliver. It's where is that?
Do we know the city? Because
I
that
think
might be a
that's-
part. Well, they also...
Yeah, but still, it doesn't, dude. But again, the expectations, though, if I'm paying $200, I don't want to see developmental, bro. I want Obafemi there. I want Trick. I want all those guys back because whatever you put out there,
Yes, it's in St. Louis. That's correct.
yeah, whatever else is out there is not like I'm not paying $200 to watch. I haven't watched NXT in a couple weeks, so I don't even know who the main contributors are anymore. I mean, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, like
it's a four-way between Joe Henry, Joe Henry's the champ, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, and Tony D'Angelo, because now they put in Tony D'Angelo in there. And then you got JC Jane versus the winner of tonight. I think Lola Vice is fighting Kendall Gray today. And then you got like who was in it? Miles Bourne and Johnny Gargano. Remember that they brought Johnny.
Oh, that's right. Johnny Gargano got pushed on top for the pin.
Yeah.
You know, it's just. But again, this is where the pressure comes in. We had WWID wrestlers say they fell out of love with wrestling.
Yeah.
Because of the pressures of being involved. Because it's no longer fun, man. It's not. And again, I get it. It's a job. They're being paid for it. But when you're not enjoying it, you're not getting the best from the people, from that specific performer. Because if you're not yourself and you're not able to do and everything else, you're not getting the best. And like when I watched Raw last night, there was 4 matches in 2.5 hours. And think about what those people, and I get it. If you go to PLE, it's usually 5, maybe 6 matches, so it's not that far off. But again, 4 hours, if I paid $300 for a seat, I guess I might have been entertained with that Raw because of the other stuff. The other stuff that happened, actually, this Raw is probably a bad one because the in-between stuff was actually probably better than most of the in-ring action. So.
What you got to understand too is sports entertainment. So if I'm gonna pay for a ticket for a regular Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown, I know I'm gonna get not too many matches, and I'm gonna get also entertainment, like a lot of promos, a lot of backstage stuff, a lot of like building up for WrestleMania. So I kind of know what to expect. Yeah. My issue, of course. And it kind of keeps going, and it was today because I saw Monday Night Raw a little earlier today in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. The amount of commercials on Netflix, bro. Every single match, there's always a goddamn commercial, and it pisses me off. I'm like, and there's no way to skip these commercials. And even the people that paid for Netflix without commercials are still getting the commercials, which is annoying. So the
only way you can do it.
Yeah, it's doing the Netflix Europe and stuff, like getting.
No. You start at 9:00 watching it from the beginning.
Okay. And
then you can fast forward through all the commercials. I do it every week now.
Oh, so you got to start watching it exactly at 9.
No, not exactly, but before. You can't wait for it to get too far ahead, because once it ends, I think you can't rewind anymore, or fast forward anymore. So I think, as long as you catch it and then you catch up. I usually catch up right near the end to go live, usually. So,
but you could watch the beginning of it and you could fast forward the commercial.
Yeah, I start from the beginning and then 3-minute commercials. I look at the time, I hit it, I go up 3 minutes, and I hit the thing, and it's boom, right into the match.
All right, I'm gonna try that because yeah,
Yep.
man, today was just annoying as hell. When I was watching it, I was like, "There's no way that they're," and it's like 7 or 6 different commercials. It's so annoying, and again, it goes all in part with what you said about the greed. You got
Yeah.
money, everything. Everything is about money.
Yeah, but I can't blame Netflix for trying to get some money out of the. Again, they spent over $5 billion to get Raw.
Yeah, but again,
So
this is because TKO agreed to give this to Netflix, and
yeah,
Netflix decided to pay. So I'm gonna put all that into the whole greed situation because at the end of the day, TKO doesn't care. They don't care if they don't care if it's one match and 50,000 commercials. They already got paid. They just want to get paid. So that's the reason why I feel like, hey man, that's what it is. And now when it comes to the talent and the amount of like, hey, is this affecting the wrestling? I think it might be, man. I think it might be. I'm starting to see some people actually talk a little bit more about AEW, which is kind of a little bit surprising. I saw that they're having very, very good success with their pay-per-view. What is it? The All In? I think that they're doing it again
yeah,
in Europe. So they're getting really good numbers over there. And I know it's in Europe, but still,
yeah.
I'm starting to see a little bit of a trend where people are actually are
Well,
starting to kind of
not only
fluctuate.
that, but also AEW leaked Will Ospreay MJF is probably going to be the main event. So
Yeah, well, again, they're getting a lot of their talent
no,
back.
and rightfully
Too.
so though too. And again, it's priced out to where they're going to work and they're able to just perform. Look, Road Dogg had enough of it,
Yeah.
and you saw it in the Unreal. He's like, well, what else? What else do you want us to do? Because again, this is where I think the other problem is. You know, everybody's like, oh, we always see the same talent because they know that talent, delivers. And that's why you can't get any of the new talent in there because the pressure's on Triple H, the pressure's on whoever's doing all the writing and the creative to where I can't take a chance of having this guy fail. It's you hit the ground, and you hit the ground running. Trick Williams. If he doesn't get those responses, I guarantee he's mid-level right now. Obafemi. He doesn't get those response with Brock, he's not doing what he's doing. And I get it. Those two guys were going to get those reactions anyways. But I'm just saying, when you watch guys come up from NXT now, they're not. It's almost back to when Vince was running it. They get a couple shows, and then you start falling back.
Well, you make a good point because let's say for example, Elio Dragunov is one that
Yep.
has kind of fallen, and I know he had an injury, so that kind of
Yeah.
hurt him as well. Carmelo Hayes is another one. You see, Trick Williams is actually bigger now than Carmelo Hayes. So there are some guys and gals out there. Liva Valkyria kind of feels a little bit stagnant. Hasn't had the big pop like a lot of us expected her to. She didn't get as big as Stephanie Valkyria. But here's what you also got to understand. Do I feel that some of the young talent is getting their pop at the WWE universe, the whole WrestleMania? I feel they're not doing such a bad job in that because even though you said Trick Williams made it, Obafemi, I mean, they built their reputation up in NXT. So if you're an NXT follower, you're going to know who they are. And I feel like they've built those two in particular really well. I feel like they built up Stephanie Vaquer. Julia has been another one that has kind of fallen, but they're trying to do what they can with her and stuff like that. But I do feel that they are trying their best to try to get their young talent in. I mean, look, they just scheduled that ladder match, and there's Javon Evans again. So, I don't feel it's hurting the young talent. I feel their greed is hurting the wrestling fan, not the wrestling actual young talent, because they're getting up there. They're doing a good job. They're bringing up people.
But here's where I'll say it's hurting them is because for Javon Evans, what do you think he's going to do in this ladder match? He's going to have to show out.
Yes, but that's
to stay in there. So now you're taking chances that you may not have to take. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm saying though is there's burnout there. There's more burnout than ever before. Tommaso Ciampa left money on the table to go do what he wanted to do, which was wrestle. Because there it was, we're a novelty act. We're DIY, but we're not DIY because you just have us lumped into 600 different tag teams that show up each week. And then out of that, Johnny Gargano goes on vacation, lays down on the thing, and now that's become a thing in the programming. So, like, I mean...
Well, Tommaso Ciampa wasn't one that everybody would be like, wow, I need to watch him. And a lot of people don't like Johnny Gargano. I don't like him. I've been telling you since day one. I don't know why they brought that guy back. Like, he had his run back in the day with NXT, but it was Triple H who brought him back. So it's like...
And Triple H is in charge now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Johnny Gargano, at the same time, he's not like... He wasn't going to be a Bryan Danielson. I'm just being honest with you. He wasn't.
Oh, no. I'm not saying they have to be that, though. But here's the thing, though. You can get burned out because you're expected to be Daniel Bryan because people are paying money that they would pay to see Daniel Bryan to see Johnny Gargano.
Yes, but just like in any other sport, and I'll relate it to Halfley, our new Miami Dolphins coach, who had his press conference, his media conference earlier today. He went and he said he wants people out there that are going to go ahead and give it everything they got. So if you go out there and you tell him, hey, look, I'm going to be in the damn sun soaking here in Miami, and it's going to make me freaking go ahead and freaking, like, die and dehydrate, but you promised me you were going to be out there and you're doing it, then I'm going to give you that opportunity. I think WWE does the same thing with these guys and gals. They give them the opportunity, and then you have to run with it. And when you say, hey, now Javon has to show off, if you look at him from NXT, he has always been a high flyer. He's always been very dangerous in all his moves. So I don't expect anything less. On the contrary, I think a lot of you guys liked him because of his ability to be like bouncy everywhere, because that's his role. That's how he is. You don't see Trick Williams doing that. You don't see Obafemi doing that. That is Javon Evans's style. So we expect that. Same thing happened with Tiffany Stratton. Those people are high flyers. They like to be like that. They're letting them be a little bit more like that. And then there's a risk behind it. But that's how they were wrestling, and that's how they're going to continue to wrestle. And some people are bought in, some people are not. I like Tiffany. I think she still needs a lot of work. Javon, he's okay. But I like, again, the pressure's always gonna be there, man. No matter.
But not the pressure that they have these days, man.
I don't feel the same. I don't agree in that, to be honest with you. There's always gonna be pressure, bro. There's pressure. Look, if you can't hack it, there's no guaranteed work. At the end of the day, man, that's just the reality of the truth when it comes to wrestling. So it was.
But again, a lot of people's dreams is to make it to WWE.
Yes.
That's no longer the thing.
I wouldn't say that, man, because
that's not a lot of people's thing. Think about it now. People on WWID, when they first got it, said, this is a dream come true. They got there and was like, oh, you know what? No, this isn't the dream. And then where did they go? To where they wrestle.
Okay, but here's the thing. A lot of people...
Because it's not, maybe I'm using the wrong word, pressure. I know there's pressure everywhere. There's pressure on me and you to do this podcast. There's pressure on you to do your job. There's pressure on me to do my job. I get the pressure part. Maybe I've misused the word here. Maybe that's where I went wrong. But what I'm trying to say is that
it's no longer fun?
No, but when you put... Okay, Frankie, me and you go to watch a show. Mm-hmm. Tickets are $400 a piece. Mm-hmm. Your expectations don't rise on the product?
Yes and no, man. You want to know why? Because they increase our football tickets. They increase our basketball tickets. Look at the FIFA tickets, man. There's people paying millions, thousands of dollars to go.
Yes, Frankie, but I do get that. But you're also, there's a community there. You're not that you're getting what you feel you might rate, but they do the season ticket holder things with the coaches. There's other things there. Here, you're just paying $400 for one night.
No, well, I don't have to be a season ticket holder. I'm talking about maybe like a regular. If your product is good, people are going to pay for it. When the Dolphins were kicking ass, everybody was paying up the wazoo to go to those games.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real. So it's like WWE. So if WWE if WWE, if the fans are gonna pay for it, they need to have a good product. And how's the best way to do the best? How's the best way to get the most out of your product? You put pressure on them and you make them make sure that they deliver. Because at the end of the day,
Okay, but
their
then
job is not guaranteed.
how much is that go up though? Because TKO doesn't stop. It isn't like, oh, we got to this level and now it's this and now it's this and now it's this. So what is the level of like what? So just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until there's no more WWE?
Well,
Or the fans don't show up anymore? That's what I'm getting to, where they're ruining it, because at some point, you're just gonna have people just be like, I'm not doing this anymore.
I don't,
Because it's not like they stopped. Think about it. WrestleMania last year, $25,000 front row. This year it's $32,000. Like, and then what? So what? Next year it's $40,000, and so they just keep going up. So to me, and again, maybe it's just my thinking. Dude, if I'm paying that much, I expect to get my money's worth.
yes, I agree with you in the sense that they're gonna keep rising the prices, but the only way we're gonna get them to slow down is once they have difficulty selling these tickets over and over again. So that's when you're gonna start seeing like a middle ground where I think TKO is gonna be like, okay, we need to stop. We're asking too much, or we're not getting enough. Plus, the whole way the economy is right now, a lot of people have 2, 3 jobs just trying to pay the bills and stuff like that. So, but when it comes to and I told you this 2 weeks ago because we didn't have the show last week. But 2 weeks ago, I told you the only way us fans could get some result from TKO and kind of speak for ourselves and stand up for ourselves is pretty much boycott. Stop buying tickets, stop buying merch, stop buying stuff. I mean, look, even merch online, bro. Back then you could get a shirt for like 24, $25. Now the minimum one is $35, $36. And I'm like, damn, like I want to buy a shirt and it costs now 35. So they raised it up $10 more. So that's the only way you're gonna get it. Now when it comes to the wrestling product, look, man, people
Can I ask one thing before you jump in there?
yeah.
If they do boycott, do you think TKO is going to say, oh, it's us raising the price too much? Or is the finger going to be pointed at the talent that they're not doing a good enough job?
That's a good question. I don't think they're gonna point it out on the talent, because I will say this. There's so much you could only deliver as a fan. If you see, when a wrestler is committed and when he's not. Look, Cody Rhodes never shows up to Monday night. He was there on Monday night. You have some the Grande Americanos. They're in NXT apparently. They're backstage. So those guys are being and not to mention that they're also wrestling in the Mexican in AAA. So it's like if you see the commitment and you see these guys and gals putting in the time and the effort, I'm not gonna point the finger and say, "Yo, this guy's or this gal is a lazy ass, and this is why the product is not functioning." No, I'm not gonna see it that way. There has to be a point where they have to take accountability and have to realize and say, "Hey, look, viewership is up, but ticket sales are down." It's because hey, people are watching, but people just don't want to pay to actually go and actually pay $400-$500 to go see to sit all the way in the boondocks to go see an NXT live event. And I think that's when TKO needs to come and realize, be like, yeah, I think that's on us. Now, will they ever come out and admit it? Absolutely not.
Oh, no. You'll never get that.
You'll
never get that. But that's my point of them. The one, they're going to ruin it for the fans. But then I disagree with you. I think that the finger pointing and all the blame is going to go to, it's not the pricing, because they were paying this amount, but now they won't go to this amount because the product's not performing to what they would. The TKO's never going to take that backseat. And Terry Davis, you're right, they are way over. Speaking of Grande Americanos in AAA.
Now I will say this: this is the only thing I can go ahead and tell you for the wrestler. TKO is charging an arm and a leg. That also gives the leverage to the wrestler. So that means your Trick Williams, your Obafemis, your Javon Evans, your Stephen Valkyrie. If they deliver, they're gonna be able to ask for way more money
you would hope so.
Than the Cody Rhodes,
yeah.
than the Randy Ortons have been making and all that stuff. So maybe it works both ways. Only time will tell. But I do feel that is something. If I'm a wrestler in WWE and I see I'm getting over, I better get paid because you guys are making buku money. And if you guys are not, if I'm not getting a cut of that buku money, then I gotta go, and it will hurt their
Yeah.
product. It because
No,
if
yeah,
you got a
I
Triple
mean,
Williams going to AEW, I promise you, he's taking some of those fans because right now he's one of the ones that's like really popping. I mean, he was on ESPN today, bro. He was on, I think, on First Take. And how long has he been in the on Raw and SmackDown? Like, dude, he just got on board so to the main roster. So it's like he's popping. So that's why I say it could work as a double standard. And again, this is what happened also to the UFC. Did you see what Ronda Rousey did? Did you see what this guy the other guy who's in that
Nagano.
Francis Ngannou. Those guys, they all did what they did. They say, "Hey, look, I'm a subcontractor. I can make more money outside of the UFC, and I'm gonna prove it to you." And that could happen. So this could backfire on WWE.
It's
in the long
going to. It's going to because, again, I watched this and Terry's right. You know, people do pay for the spectacle of WrestleMania, but at the same time, now WrestleMania next year goes to Saudi Arabia. Like, you're also not, but again, Saudi Arabia, they pay for themselves, so that doesn't even. They're going to make more money over there if everything goes over. I don't know what's going on. I know they're supposed to do another pay-per-view this year over there, which I think is getting canceled. So
Yeah, 'cause of the
we'll
weather.
have to see how that works out. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I feel like, look, with what they did with UFC, I almost see that happening here. Now I get it. They're going to pay a few people to stay because you got to have certain names, but I just don't think
Well, look at the UFC. It hasn't
everybody's going to get paid, man.
it hasn't backfired the UFC when it comes to the fans. They kind of reached their point. They said, okay, this is kind of like the price. Every once in a while, we'll push it just a little bit. Like whenever there's a UFC here in Miami, prices are ridiculous, but they still find ways to sell all the tickets. So they'll push the needle when it comes to the ticket sales. But talent is where it's gonna hurt because again, like I said, that's where UFC's been hurting. A lot of their talent has all of a sudden said, "Hey, I don't need to be in UFC. I could go somewhere else and make a name for myself and still make good money." And that could help the likes of a TNA, the likes of a AAA, the likes of AEW, and outside other companies outside of the United States. That is where maybe you'll see it hit TKO. It will get to that point if they continue going this route. Because again, if you're making all that money and I'm one of your stars, I better get paid, bro.
We'll see, man. We'll see. They got to make that money to cover the Pro Bull Riding Association, the PBR there. Yeah, they're paying, I think, $75 million. That's about right. They're paying $55 million for the other one. So I got to believe WrestleMania is going to be 75, if not more. Monday recap. Frankie Fresco. We kind of dipped into a little things. Your overall thoughts on Monday Night Raw?
Well, we spoke about this a couple of minutes ago. You said this Monday wasn't a good example because it was actually really good.
Yeah. It was
pretty much the whole show. And you know what? If I'm WWE, I would include Stephanie McMahon back in some of these storylines. Why not? Like, I thought that was smart as hell. I saw Cody, and I'm like, why is Cody coming out? Obviously, it's New York and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, I was like, okay, cool. But that promo between him and her, wow, that was good, bro.
And remember, Randy's been getting the calls. Nobody knows who that caller is.
Hey, maybe Stephanie McMahon.
Well, he did say there is more than one royal family. Remember the first call?
Yeah.
The first call was there is more than one royal family. And we said Shane McMahon's, different things. We've thrown out different ideas that they could do. Is this part of that, a little egg that gets planted 2 weeks before WrestleMania now? We'll have to see where it leads.
I like it. And if they go that route, and all of a sudden you got maybe Shane O'Mac, maybe Vince, maybe could be a special.
I don't want to get Vince.
I mean, people would go crazy if Vince showed up at WrestleMania. I can tell you that much. Stephanie McMahon getting involved. I mean, look, you bring the McMahons back into this. That's a hell of a storyline, Sean.
You know what I do if I'm Triple H and Nick Khan and them? Well, what did Vince McMahon get pulled over in? What was the car he got pulled over in?
It was probably a sports car because it was speeding like crazy.
Yeah. I would have like Shane McMahon pull up. I would just have the car pull up, stop, and then everybody be like, "Oh no, no way!" And then boom, Shane McMahon or Stephanie gets out and be like,
See, Sean, that's why they need you to be hired for the storytelling, because that is a brilliant idea. Yes, that would be great. You could actually do that. You don't even have to do it with Stephanie or anything. You could do it with Randy Orton. That way you could tease it, and then all of a sudden the people will be like, "Holy crap! Why is Randy driving? Is that Vince's car? Like, what's going on?" Or
I would do it, man. I would do it. I would just. I would have, and you know what I would actually do? I wouldn't even have Randy or any of them. I would have some nobody show up in it and be like, "The hell? What is going on here?" And then they start thinking faction or whatever else, man. I'm just, again, man, that's what I love about like wrestling is when it makes you reflect back on things and be like, wait a minute. Okay. Oh, that's right. They did do this and they said this. Oh, I missed it. I don't have an issue with that. I like that part of the entertainment of it, because then it's like, oh man, they got me because I missed that one little piece. And cause like last night I thought, and again, this is why I'm not a writer. If I'm Cody, when Stephanie went to walk out on me, I would have spun her around and gave her the cutter. I would have gave her the RKO. I would have had Cody, bam, lay her out, just like Randy did to her, because he said it before the thing, and then but again he says thank you, and then
now that was such a move, bro. Come on,
this is the thing though. He's got to go to SmackDown now and turn into that Cody that Stephanie was trying to pull out in that promo by saying this Cody can't beat this Randy.
But
that's what that whole promo was about.
But he missed an opportunity, bro. Everybody in the crowd said it. Suck it. That's what he should have done. Because then all of a sudden, you get that moment when you're like, hold on a second. This is Cody saying this to Stephanie McMahon. Like, when, Cody's the corporate guy. Cody's not supposed to be rebellious. He doesn't have people talking in his head or anything like that. All of a sudden, you got Cody getting to a next level of ruthless aggression type of level. Cena
but that's where I think you hit the RKO instead, or the Crossroads, or whatever. Like to me, because just to be like, suck it. What? Oh, so you took what DX's saying because it's Triple H's wife.
Yes.
Like, oh no, man, no. That to me would be worse than him saying thank you.
No.
Yes.
Guys, if you're in the chat board, let me know if you think that thank you was actually very good. Like, they dropped the ball twice already. They dropped the ball with CM Punk when Roman is like, oh, the reason you're not going to be is because you're old or something like that. You used the old thing that was dumb, and then you get Cody Rhodes saying thank you. Like, they dropped the ball in both of those really bad. But
remember, he was calling Roman his young boy.
Yeah, but still, man, you need to take a shot at his dog, bro. He took a shot at his
goodness gracious.
At his old boy. Come on, man. You got to take a shot at damn dog. I'm sorry, bro. But this is wrestling. There's no boundaries in wrestling. That's what I've noticed. So when it comes to that, I would have done that. Now, talk to me about the other stuff. We got some other matches coming up. What about my boy Penta? Penta in a ladder match. Do you like it?
I don't mind it, because then you can throw more people in. You get Javon Evans on the WrestleMania part. You'll get probably a couple others, maybe an El Grande Americano. So I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I just
well, you got some bangers. You got Javon in there. You got now who is
have they announced, or I thought they were going to do qualifying matches for it?
No, the matches already announced, because they had done the qualifying matches. I guess they said something on like Saturday or something. So I think it was like some in-house shows, I guess, what they did.
Oh, okay.
So the match is already made. It's Penta versus Javon Evans versus Rusev versus Dragon Lee versus JD McDonough. So those are the guys that are in that match.
Yeah, I don't like that much now.
I like JD McDonough. McDonough. I don't like Dragon Lee. I think Dragon Lee sucks.
They missed a big chance, man.
Like, by what? What do you mean by that?
Ray Phoenix should be in it.
That's a good point. Yeah, definitely better than Dragon Lee.
Yeah, yeah. Or even Rusev. Rusev in a ladder match, like, I mean, I want to have guys that could like what Rusev's gonna climb up the. I just don't believe Rusev's winning that. Like,
Well, look, okay, okay. So, but here's the thing: Ray Phoenix, he's not in Monday Night Raw, so I get it why they stuck Dragon Lee, and in Dragon Lee it looks like, I
yeah,
mean,
but at this point, does it matter? I mean, you had you had guys win the Royal Rumble and move over. Like, I just. Like,
well,
I don't mean.
I could see the reason behind Rusev because Rusev did fought a couple times with Penta, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but then they dropped it for a while.
They
But I
did,
guess
but they're bringing it back. Javon Evans is a high flyer. He's gonna
Yeah.
be first chance to
No, Javon, JD, Dragon Lee's in there for that reason too.
and JD, JD actually has a lot of potential. I
Yes.
actually feel like he's an underdog in this match. I think
Yeah.
he has a slight chance of winning this.
I think they might give him that rub on that match at WrestleMania. I think he might get the rub.
And then they also added another match in there. They added the 4-way fatal tag team championship, which
Yeah.
we kind of saw this coming, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
saw
yeah,
the
yeah.
ladies, and hands down, I'm a little bit disappointed in WWE. Why do they keep doing this to the Bella Twins, Mero? Those are my girls. You can't do them that dirty. That you can't be knocking them down and just beating them. They look so out of place. Like out of the whole group, like each tag team group, I feel like they're the worst ones in there that have no chance of winning. But I'm not gonna go. I'm still a Bella fan.
That's why they're gonna win, right? That's why everybody's gonna beat the crap out of everybody. It's gonna be like last night when Logan Paul and Austin Theory won the titles, right? Austin Theory's laid out. All he does is roll over, put his arm on. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
That's gonna happen. That's all it takes, baby. All it takes.
But you know what? They set it up too, right? Now, because now you got speed there, so there's a very good chance it might be a 3-on-3, right? You get the Usos and
Yeah, I thought that's gonna be like a Raw or no, I don't know if maybe. You know, you're right. But I don't know, man, because so what? It's gonna be the Usos and LA Knight against ISO Speed, Theory, and
Division, and Logan Paul. Yeah, it's not a bad because I Show Speed is not going to be on a Monday Night Raw. He's not going to wrestle on a Monday night, so it has to be at WrestleMania. But I think here's where the Danhausen cursing kind of continues. So you could play that into that match in a way. So that's the reason why I think that could be a potential match for WrestleMania. And then, of course, the one that kind of was like a, hey, we had to make an audible, right? Was Seth Rollins versus Gunther, right? We know what happened here. We know that Rey
Mysterio got hurt and Braun Breaker got hurt, and neither looks like they're gonna make it back on time. So
we're putting
there you go.
We're putting them together.
Yeah.
Which in a way, it's still a good match. It's just there's not that much storyline.
Yeah. The only thing I would have done last night different on that was when Gunther was walking away. I wish you would have went over and acknowledged Heyman a little bit. Not necessarily like I'm with you, but been like, we got him. And then like it was planned a little bit more. Whereas he just kind of walked away and just left on his own. Maybe he would have went over, whispered something in Heyman's ear and left. Or, again, I'm not saying he's got to become a Heyman guy or part of the vision or anything there. But I do wish he would have at least acknowledged him like, oh, this worked out the way we thought it would, or something. Because again, I do understand too, though, Rollins got in, hit him with the chair, and then he comes out. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it just...
Well, maybe it's not too late for that, right? Maybe it's not too late for that. They still got...
Yeah, I mean, it could be something else. Yeah,
but I like that. I like that idea of you because at the end of the day, we know that Brock Lesnar's time is starting to wind down, right? So, who would be a good one to kind of capitalize and become the next like big monster and stuff like that is Gunther. And what better way than to eventually down the road probably teaming him up with Paul Heyman, and then you get that as well. So you
could put that egg for later on down the road where Gunther did this with Heyman, and then maybe down the road he's like, hey, I helped you with your Rollins problem. Now it's time for me to take Lesnar, or whatever, as it goes further, because I feel like they're going to keep this career killer angle going with Gunther. It's just they missed the boat because of the injury.
And not only that,
Now it's like,
but you could have maybe next year's WrestleMania. You could have Gunther versus Brock Lesnar, and then you could see a turn from Paul Heyman finally going ahead and saying, "Hey,
again.
another yeah, like he's betraying now Brock Lesnar instead of CM Punk and Roman Reigns, and now all of a sudden he's with Gunther. So I like it. And then the last one that they also added was, of course, the one we all kind of figured was coming, which was Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. My only letdown with that match is that there is no belt being
Yeah, I think they've dropped the ball on that. I mean, I'm glad Penta got the title and all this, but like I feel like I don't know. I just don't feel like there's as much involved in this match. I mean, I think it's going to be a great match with Dom and with Finn, but like I would have loved it to been for control of the Judgment Day or for the Intercontinental title, some kind of stakes to it, or maybe the way it was being built up, and now it's just Finn and Dom. I mean, it's got story behind it. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like now it's like you expect probably Judgment Day to get involved and help out Dom. The only surprise would be, I guess, if Finn has some kind of crew behind him that could maybe
you could make it like it would have been nice if they would have made it like a street fight or something like a cage match or no DQ match or something, because then all of a sudden you could see the reunion of Damian Priest helping Finn Balor eventually. So those little things. So that's the only thing, because you're right. Obviously, a Judgment Day is going to get involved. It's going to be all over it. It's going to be very difficult for Finn Balor to win. And I'm a Dom fan, kind of teasing you guys, but I kind of am leaning a little bit more to Finn Balor. I got to see what they do next week. But as of right now, I am leaning a little bit more to seeing Finn Balor win. I don't think he's going to win, but I kind of want him to win. So, but overall, man, Raw was good, man. Like you had CM Punk also attack Roman Reigns. They laid each other out. He returned the favor this week, throwing him through the table. So it was good. I thought it was a very, very entertaining Monday night, all across. I thought the Io Raquel match was a little bit but besides that, all of them pretty good. All pretty good show overall from Monday night.
Yeah. No. I thought it felt weird what they were trying to do with that whole Io and Asuka and Kyrie, and like it just was, I don't know, it just felt like too much. Like they're just trying to get too much and too fancy there. But overall, I agree with you. I think they kept the stories going. They intensified Punk and Roman. I again, we're 2 weeks away. I don't know if they're doing it too quickly. That we'll have to see. Because with the way it's escalating, I don't know what's next for those two. I mean, honestly,
I'm just glad they laid each other out. I remember we were saying if they have to hit each other, and they've
Well, with what was being said, they had to. I mean, I would have probably waited, but they went for it at the beginning, and I was like, once the thing about Sika came out, I was like, if Roman does not lay him out, like this isn't good. Brother BKL Sporter, what is it? Sportainment Show?
Sport Entertainment Show.
Yeah, don't forget, we literally not too sure if Gunther could wrestle until WrestleMania is around the corner, but we're not too sure who's next opponent. Don't forget, there's more legends still wrestle but not retired. No, yeah, I mean, I agree, but again, this was a pivot because it was originally going to be, I think, Rey Mysterio and Gunther, which maybe Rey was thinking of this being his final WrestleMania. Maybe that's what that whole workup was going to be. And then, of course, Seth was supposed to be a Braun, but I'm guessing Braun...
not there yet.
Not there yet with the hernia or whatever. And then there was an incident yesterday, and I know some people caught it. There was somebody entering Madison Square Garden in a hood and everything else. And everybody's like, oh, that's Braun Breaker. I think it was Roxanne. Looking back at it, I believe it might have been Roxanne Perez. They just put stuff around her to make her look more, bigger than what she was. But I looked at it, and next to the guy's not taller than the person walking. It's a smaller stature person. So I think that actually might have been Roxanne, which ended up coming out and helping Liv against Stephanie Vaquer in the broadcast.
And Stanley House Media Network, don't forget to become popular with hightask.online.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it right now. You know what? We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. We're going to Netflix. We're going Netflix WWE style right now.
I know, right? Yeah.
Frankie Fresco, you are the fans getting out of hand in WWE.
So we're bringing this topic up, guys, because if you guys notice, a couple of things happened the last yesterday and the day before. It was basically as Liv Morgan is walking down to the ring, a fan reaches out, grabs her literally from her hand, and kind of like was gonna like push her into her. And from what I've read was that WWE, all they did was like I think it was the cameraman and maybe one of the securities told the guy, hey, don't do it again, if not we're gonna kick you out, and that's it. So kind of like nonchalant, like okay, I would have thought they would have kicked them out. That's something you're pretty much, especially with a woman, right? You don't do that to a female wrestler. A male, you don't want it also on a male, but you did it to Liv Morgan, one of your high profile wrestlers, and you're just gonna go ahead and give him a warning like nothing. So that's one thing. And then you also at the end, if you guys saw it on social media, when CM Punk was actually on top towards the end of the show, he was like, kind of like chanting, and he wanted the fans. A lot of people are divided right now. A lot of people like Roman, a lot of people like CM Punk. There was a fan who was recording on his cell phone, and he was telling them, hey, look, you suck, you F you, this and that, this and that. And then CM Punk, went to that extreme. He kind of did some gestures like if he had like busted a nut on him and stuff like that. And then was saying F you, sticking the bird to the guy and everything. So you tell me, Sean, and not to mention Stephanie Valkyrie. I don't know if you guys saw, there was a fan who posted on social media saying that Stephanie Valkyrie was the only wrestler that did not give her a signature, did not pose with her, did not take any photos. And Stephanie went on social media and said, hey, look, yesterday was my birthday. I also had, I was going through some stuff, and I kind of told you not to record me and stuff like that because I wasn't feeling my way, and I would have hoped that you respected that. And then they went ahead and they still blasted her to kind of put some like shame to her name. Sean, are these fans, should WWE, and again, this is not something new. We've seen this happen. Remember the kid that went running and all that stuff, and they kind of pushed him out of the way and stuff like that. We kind of had mixed feelings about that one. I always have mixed feelings of that one because it's a child. But when you got grown-ass people doing these things to these wrestlers, man, isn't it time for WWE to just kind of put the, stop button here and be like, yo, let's protect our wrestlers?
Before I get to that, brother BKL, what do you mean? Or maybe they probably follow the script. I'm not sure which part you're referring to. I don't know how far behind you are on the show. I don't know if you started after, but let me know what you're referring to when you say probably follow the script. Now, to what you're saying, Frankie, and I look, man, you always got to worry about the safety of the performers to me. But this goes back to what we started the show with. I paid $2,500 for this seat. I expect some entertainment.
Yeah, but to that extreme where you could
hey, whatever. If you're gonna do it, then damn it, you know what I'm saying. And that's also why I guarantee you, they're not putting out because they're like that person paid $500 or $600 or whatever for that seat. Well, so we can't lose that person, unfortunately.
Yes and
so
no.
unless they do what happens like when Seth, they jump the railing and come and chase down after him. Again, they've made the aisleways tighter so that the fans could be more on top of them. Think about this. It used to be wider. They made it tighter so they could fit more seats and they could be closer to the action. Greed. This is what you get when you're greedy. But there is a certain ant of you should still respect people and treat them like they're human beings. Just because you show up with a paper and a pen and throw it in somebody's face does not mean said person must sign it. That's all I'll say on that topic there. Because again, like, just because you walk up to people and ask for them, they don't, and I get it. You can say that's shitty of them or whatever. But again, there were times, again, back in the day, if you were a heel, you weren't signing autographs, man. If you were a heel, you were not signing autographs. Baby faces, you go out there in intermission, you go out there before the show, But the heels aren't going out there. And I get it. Stephanie's a babyface. But again, was this at an event where you paid money, or you just saw them at a store and all of them are together and you're just walking around trying to get autographs? Like, was it in a professional setting? Are you just catching people at the airport? Are you catching them at the hotel? Are you catching them when they're trying to eat?
But Sean,
Like, there's other things there. And I get it. They're celebrities and you want to say whatever, but it doesn't mean that because you put something in front of me, I have to sign it, or if I don't, I'm a bad person. No. I just want to spend time with my family. I want to eat my dinner. I don't want to be 24/7. Now, if it's in a professional setting and you paid money to go said event and they do that, that's a different story.
here's the thing, and here's where I like brother BKL. Shout out to him, man. He's bringing out some good comments on here. He mentions Nino Hamburguesa out of AAA, which he actually got fired, and the reason he got fired was because he started throwing blows to the fans.
Yes, yeah.
But my question
Sat in his lap and bowed him 3 times. I mean,
that shit was awesome. But I'm gonna be real honest with you. Can you judge him? Can you blame him? Like, if you start seeing fans get out of your way and you got to protect yourself, I'm going to throw blows too. And we're going to talk about this in a couple minutes. It actually kind of rolls with the next topic that we have. But this,
but again, if they're touching you or they're doing different things, that's different than, like, you sat in dude's lap and you threw bows to his face. Like, I don't know the whole situation, but you sat in the guy's lap. Once you sat in his lap, he's not going anywhere. And then you decide to throw bows at him. I mean, I don't know what this...
Maybe the fan said something that pissed him off, and that's why.
Oh, well, dude, grow some skin. You know what I've been called? You know what? I mean, dude, they've been called a lot worse. If you're hitting somebody because of something they said and you're a wrestler, you need to find a new line of business.
Well, hold on, Sean. Let me ask you this. And we're throwing a scenario here. Let's say I'm the fan in the front row and you're the guy.
Oh, I'm punching you regardless. It doesn't matter.
There you go. See, there you go. So
yeah, you're just punchable, though. You're punchable.
I understand I'm punchable, but okay. So let's say if brother BKL was out on the front row, and
I'm not punching brother BKL. No.
But let's say brother BK, all of a sudden he's on the front row. You accidentally fall on him, and he tells you, "Hey, man, you're." And he says something, and then he insults something like maybe your daughter, or insults your grandchild, or insults your mother, like and you're having a bad day. You're having a day where you
no. When you go through the ring to that ring, all that's got to be put to the side. You can say what you want to say at that point. I could say stuff back to you too as well. Now, if you take a swing at me first, all bets are off.
Okay, well, this is okay.
All bets are off.
This is great because let's roll to the next topic, right? Because this actually correlates with the next topic, which is, of course, if you guys didn't hear, there was a stabbing in an indie show. So let me go ahead and pull my notes here because I did write notes on this. Sorry, I wasn't better prepared. So basically what happened was there was a stabbing in Ruthless Pro Wrestling. It was in the Omega event. It reveals a situation that happened. So basically, it was a wrestler by the name of Cruel, who was one of the guys who was wrestling there, and he got stabbed by one of the fans. Now, there's more backstory to this. So if you guys haven't been to an indie show or has been a minute, you know that a lot of the indie wrestlers like to sell their merch, like to sell, their signatures. They'll take photos with the fans and all that stuff. So they kind of work all together. So what happened here, to give you kind of a backdrop, so this is the notes here. It says, Luke Nixon spoke to Catholic Wrestling's Tom Campbell and explained the tensions between Cruel and the fan who allegedly started early in the night at the merchandise table. According to Nixon, the individual approached Cruel before the show and acted aggressively right from the start. So this is what happened. I was speaking to Cruel. Cruel told me that the guy went up to the merch stand at the start of the show, started asking Cruel how much is his merchandise, and then went and said, "Oh, I'm not effing paying that," and then walked away. The same individual later caused another tense moment during Cruel's entrance, stepping directly in front of him, attempting to square him up. This is what was said. This guy was in front row during Cruel's entrance. Now he's like a big monster. He walks around. The guy stepped out the front row, stepped in front of Cruel on his entrance, and like squared up to him. Cruel obviously didn't break character and made him look silly. And then during the match, I think like the guy got knocked out of his seat. So you know that Cruel, even though had those runs, I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose, right? He had to. He's like, yo, this guy's being a little p. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna teach him a little bit of lesson, and I'm pretty sure that's why they kind of that's probably had to be improvised in the sense that, hey, we're gonna make sure we knock this guy out. That way he backs off, right? So here's what happened. It says, according to Nixon, the confrontation reached its breaking point after the show ended, when the individual returned to Cruel's merchandise table and escalated things even further. The video shows that you see happens after the show. So there's a video out there where you see Cruel, the wrestler, start duking it out with the fan, and a lot of the other wrestlers jump in to start like swinging on the fan. And bro, if you haven't seen it, just go on social media, just put in fan stabbing wrestler, and you'll see it. It's all over. It was all over X. I think it was like 2 days ago. And then basically what it says. The guys went up to Cruel's merch table at the end of the show, squared him up, and started going, let's fucking go then, and let's effing go, and then tackled him. And in the tackle, that's when he must have shanked him because Cruel didn't realize he got stabbed until after. It was after the main event, after the show, Cruel, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing this, Schlack and Lou Nixon were out of their gimmick table selling merch, and this fan came up and was staring down Cruel, and so Cruel just stared right back at him. Next thing you know, the fan tackled Cruel through the table, and while he had him on the ground, he stabbed him in the lower right quadrant of his abdomen. At that point, the boys saw he had a knife, so they just started lighting him up. They didn't want to take the chance of the mother effer stabbing them too. They pushed him towards the door. Somebody, Spartan, kicked him down the stairs, and that was pretty much the end of the show. So here's my question to you, Sean. And of course, this is what we were talking about a couple minutes ago. The fans are going a little bit out of hand. Where is the limit? Where is it? Especially on indie shows, because I will tell you this, and I love indie shows. I went to CCW a couple weeks ago to there, and shout out to CCW. Great product, great work, and everything. But I will say something to you, Sean. And again, this is all indie shows because CCW is not the only indie show that I've gone to. Nobody pat me down. There was no censor or anything like that. When you go to an event, sometimes you need to at least have a security guard in front. I didn't see any security people. I didn't see, and I know it's an indie show. I get it. They're not making buku money either. I get it. And usually the fans that go to these indie shows are usually the repeat fans, right? They're always we're kind of united and stuff like that. But every once in a blue moon, you get characters that are obviously not used to being part of the show, but they want to check it out, and then this could lead on. So my question to you, Sean. Are the fans getting out of hand? And number two, when it comes to the indie show, should there be more protection, just like WWE? Should they go ahead and have security? Should they have that, that metal sensor thing that you have to walk through to make sure? Because this guy walked in with a knife. I'm pretty sure nobody patted him down. And if you look at I saw a video of an indie show where they had a security guy, and the guy was like going like this, boom, boom, go, boom, boom, go, boom, boom, go. So talk to me, Sean. What is going on here?
I think in this day and age, you got to, unfortunately, man, because it's just everybody thinks they can do this, and then you never know what somebody's going through or whatever. I mean, again, I go back to when I wrestled. We had Christmas tree matches where the fans brought the weapons. Think about this. This is fans bringing the weapons. You know what I'm saying? But again, it was a controlled environment. And unfortunately, nowadays, I don't think you can control that, man. It's at that time to where, you have to. You almost have to have a metal detector, make the line, force people to walk through it, pat them down, empty your, or when you come in, have 3 or 4 people across the front, empty everything out of your pockets, hold your pockets out so we can make sure you're clear. If you have a bag, we need to go through it. Unfortunately, that's where it's get to. And I didn't realize this was Mad Cool's Kruger, who is the former MLW heavyweight champion. I didn't realize it was the same guy. Honestly, I didn't. until I was looking at it more here. But yeah, I mean that's that's the thing. And kudos to the guys there, man. That's what you got to do. Somebody do beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, you see when they're like punching the crap out of him.
Yeah.
He takes like at least 6 or 7 blows right to the face, which is good. I will say this. I recently went to Ultra. Shout out to Ultra this past weekend. When I went into Ultra, 2 times I got patted down. So shout out to Ultra for at least making sure that, you were patted down correctly. And this is, again, an event. You got to look at these indie shows as events, right? There's a lot large crowds going to some of these indie shows. There's a lot of families going to these shows. You have not only
that, you have insurance. Usually, and again, I don't know where this event was, but there's insurance on these events. Insurance for the building, insurance for like the crowds and things. So you need to protect your investment, or else you could be in for a long haul.
Yeah, and a big lawsuit too, right? Especially from these indie shows. And then when it comes back to WWE, especially with the fact that you said that they have more greed, there should be more protection for their wrestling, for their performers, because they're making buku money. So protect your performers. Make sure that this doesn't happen.
They need to go back to the wider aisles. The reason they went to the lower aisles was the fact that they want people to be able to get pictures of the crowd. That's why there's no security walking them down the aisle like back in the day when you had a whole bunch of security walking Hogan through the aisle and everybody, nobody could see him or anything. I mean, they might have to go back to that if they keep doing what they're doing here.
Yeah, and no doubt I paid for my ticket, sir. Relax.
Yeah, Frankie's not an air duck guy. I mean, we mess with him, but he's really not an air duck guy.
No, man, I'm actually loyal. I actually paid for that ticket for Colombia versus Argentina final in the Copa America. I paid a pretty hefty penny. That's why when I go, if you want to boycott wrestling, you're going to have to boycott it because they're still going to be loyal, and I'm loyal to Colombia. I paid a buku money, but it was a final, so that's the only time I made the exception. But yeah, so I feel the same way, Sean. Security needs to get bulked up, and in these shows, they need.
It's the way of the world now, man. Unfortunately, man, you never know.
Yeah, man. Especially
unfortunately,
now,
especially
there's we're living a time right now that where everybody's so tense. Like you see road rage just on while you're driving, So it's like it's not like back in the day when people were humble. It's more of like, yo, watch your back because if not, something could happen to you. So. We want to jump to we got 2 more topics and then we're gonna end the show. I know you gotta leave soon. So
so TK and Vince Russo. Vince Russo sends out a TK. Tag me in. Let's get together and let's take down WWE.
Sean, you know what, man? For me, bro, I like this. I think.
No.
So let's give a little backdrop behind this. So there was an interaction between former WWE personality, the Coach, Jonathan Coachman, publicly inviting Khan to appear on the Coach and Bro podcast, which is he co-hosts with Vince Russo.
Vince Russo, yep.
And then all of a sudden he went ahead and he basically laid out an invitation for him and said, "Hey, bro, how would you like to come to our show?" Because they're currently Russo is usually doing that JCW. So basically, Tony Khan responded and said, "I would love to come to the show with you, plus Vince Russo. I've been a fan of both of yours for many years. Also, I think that Vince is doing a tremendous job on JCW Lunacy, which I enjoy very much." So Tony Khan is actually tuning into JCW. And think about this, Sean. You bring Vince Russo into there. Now, I'm not going to say that he's going to make AEW better. But can AEW get any worse? I don't think so, bro. Because when you start seeing...
I think AEW is actually pretty good right now, man. I think it's
again, syringes in their mouth and stuff like that.
Well, no, I mean, they take a little too far and make it indie-ish. I get that. But the one thing is the wrestling on their pay-per-views are second to none. Like the one thing that I would pay for AEW would be a pay-per-view.
I remember what I told you. This last pay-per-view wasn't, for me, it wasn't their best wrestling pay-per-view.
No, it wasn't their best one, but it was still decent. I mean, it was, I think they try to pile 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag is the problem. Let's not do 11. Let's do 7, 8.
You think Vince Russo would say that? I think Vince Russo would tell
No. This is where, look, man, Vince Russo has a great mind for wrestling. But he also gets freaking carried away, bro. And I know he loves the bro word, and again, he loves pushing the young talent, which I'm great for. But remember, I believe it was Russo that was in charge when the new blood era of WCW was going on, and Kevin Nash stood in the middle of the ring, and the blood missed him by 5 feet.
Yes. That's why I'm saying it will probably not be something that will be successful for a very long time. It will probably work for like about a year, and then you might start seeing.
I look, man. I think I just, man. And again, I love both of them, and I love what JCW is doing. I love what AEW is doing. Again, they get carried away, as does everybody. I get that. But I don't know if they partner together. I just don't know where or how far what it would do. Honestly,
I mean, I feel like not only do partnership, I think eventually this could lead up to Tony Khan hiring Vince Russo and then finally bringing some entertainment on top of the wrestling to AEW. I'm going to tell you something. I like Vince Russo. Yes.
No, I don't mind him, but I'm not giving him my... I watched what he did at WCW, and
that was years ago.
But again,
you don't think
he pushes young talent, and it's good. But he's got some
he does.
And again, a lot of his thing, and again, I don't know which one is right and which one is wrong, so I'm not going to say either way. But there's been words that the Attitude Era wasn't as much Vince Russo as it was VKM, depending on who you want to hear and who you want to talk to. But they used that to get to WCW.
I like the idea, bro. I know I'm a Vince Russo fan. I like his attitude. I like his controversy. I like his ideas.
Controversy creates cash. I mean,
I like it.
Again,
man.
I think it could be good, but I also think it could go off the rails real quick.
This is what I could do. If I'm Tony Khan.
And I don't know which one would hurt AEW or if it would help AEW if it went off the rails. I don't know.
Well,
honestly, I don't know because I like where they're heading. I like what's going on right now.
Yes and no, man. Like I told you, I think sometimes they go to extreme with surrender.
Oh yeah, but Paige is gone right now. I mean, it's MJF. It's Osprey's back now. Like I mean, there's gonna be some.
Yeah, but they're having a little bit of a hiccup, I think, also on the women's side. You know, Tony Storm is out for a while. Is Tony Storm pregnant? Is that why she's out? I think that's what I had heard, that she's pregnant.
My understanding, and again, not reading it. My understanding was it was nothing health. To me, health would be pregnant. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm looking at it differently.
Well, I thought when it said health.
My understanding is she has 3 to 4 movies lined up with AMC. To do like back to back to back to back. And it would just be easier to write her off than to have her come in, leave, come in, leave, come in and leave, and then do the angle the way they did. So now you can go, okay, who, and then when she comes back, it's a built-in. And I think she needed a break because
she's going
there was no antagonist to her protagonist anymore. When Mariah May left and Mina was with her, like there was not a for that character, you know. Her and Mercedes had a good run there, but then when the match happened, it kind of ruined all momentum there.
Well, it also hurt the fact, and that's kind of trickles down to our last topic, of course, Mercedes Moné, the fact that she has so many title belts and all that stuff, and what's happening with her now, but. Well, I think what happened was that she had so many titles that eventually she had pretty much killed her body. Like she was saying that she had a grueling schedule and all that stuff. And then not only that, you have to headline a match with Tony Storm. You feel me? So it's like a lot of work put on this girl to deliver. And again, I think.
But that's the work she put on herself. This is what she wanted to do. This was her whole goal when she left WWE and everything else was to be, you know, the woman that changes and revolutionizes women's wrestling. And look, for you know, what she has done in AEW, it's this right now. But for what she's done for those indies and those other shows that she's been on and built, if you didn't see when she lost, I think 2 titles in one night to the same lady, and the crowd went crazy for her, man. For Mercedes Moné, that's what she wanted this run to be. And I think where it got messed up was because the AEW side of it didn't really have a women's feud going on. She got thrown in with Toni Storm when they should have left her out and put somebody else in there.
Quick question here, because I'm reading the comment here, and Brother BKL said, why Tony Khan didn't say no deal, no for the deal, or else Vince Russo make an offer. So I'm assuming from what I'm getting is like, why didn't Tony Khan like shut it down completely, or why wasn't an actual deal made between these two? And I think it's because I feel like Tony Khan, I think before Tony Khan goes and makes these type of negotiations with these other companies, he wants to test it. You feel me? I think he wants to go take a look at it, sit down, kind of like what he did with this guy Shane O'Mac. He had a conversation with him. He wants to see how the interaction is. Is it possible for him to be part of AEW? Is it possible to have some type of collaboration and stuff like that? And then if he has a good vibe about it, then he'll start moving on to negotiations, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's why he doesn't jump the gun. That's why I think in the long run, I think we might get this eventually, this JCW type of interaction with AEW. And as Brother BKL said, it could be for Forbidden Door, which would be pretty cool. But here's the other thing. Like I said, if I feel like if there's a good running, you know how TK is. TK is the type of person that, hey, he likes talent and he usually takes them from the other wrestling organizations. So I don't see why he wouldn't even take the likes of Vince Russo into AEW, because at the end of the day, it will create storylines. And I think that's one thing that AEW has lacked. And if Tony Khan really wants to take AEW to the next level and take advantage of the fact that WWE right now is overpricing their fans and making the fans kind of like start like doubting themselves if they want to go to the show, I think this is a perfect time for him to start kind of making a move and saying, hey, let me try to get some of these fans to come to my show. Let me see if AEW can build something off of this and keep growing. And then all of a sudden, we establish ourselves not only to the 800, 600 views that we get on a weekly basis, but now we start cracking again over the 1 million mark. Maybe we could get up to 2 million, because that's one thing that they're lacking when it comes to the viewership and when it comes to like their actual venues. They have to go to these small venues instead of going to this big one. They only offer the big ones for like the all-ins and stuff like that. So I think it's an opportunity for Tony Khan to take advantage of this to better AEW.
And also, I think this goes back, and I just looked it up to make sure I remembered it correctly. In 1997, there was a partnership between WWE and ECW, in which ECW stars started showing up and sitting in the front row of Monday Night Raw. Just sitting there. They weren't really like paid attention to. Then all of a sudden the camera would scan over and like, oh, wait a minute. That's Sandman, or that's Tommy Dreamer, or whatever. And then it ended up being one of them, like they threw him out of the ring and he hit the ring by them and he spilt the beer. And then they jumped over and it started a ECW WWE invasion angle. Mm-hmm. I could see that happening with JCW and AEW down, as it rolls out. And again, Vince was a part of this. Vince was also part of sending the DX in the Jeep to Norfolk, Virginia, and doing the whole thing there in front of the things. Again, he has some great ideas, but I think he needs to be wrangled in. That's where Tony Khan's going to really have to be like, go with it full force or bring it in so you don't go too much.
Yep.
Is true. It says no official confirmation Tony Storm pregnant, but we literally not. Yeah, there's been no nothing on that front as far as what it is, but I did read that she had 3 to 4 movies lined up. I do not know if I forgot who she's married to. Tony Storm is married to a wrestler.
She is married to a wrestler. I don't remember who though either. Tony Storm, husband. Let's see. Husband.
You got it right there? Okay. I was trying to
Okay,
type it in my phone.
Juice Robinson.
Oh, that's right. Juice Robinson.
Another
I couldn't
AEW
remember.
guy.
Yeah, because it was the beard. Because when he shaved, he's like, yeah, Tony didn't like it at the beginning. So, yeah, it was, Juice Robinson. Thank you there, brother BKL.
Yeah.
This is literally scratching my head between AEW, JCW, Forbidden Door. It really sound like Shane McMahon is definitely doesn't like Vince Russo offer. Plus, it's true in WWE Invasion, WCW. Well, no, but WWE, WCW was just Vince owned both. He brought him in to kill WCW.
Yeah,
Vince never pushed anything that wasn't his creation.
Yeah.
He brought it over, he showed it, then he killed it. NWO, what happened? I don't like Hollywood Hogan. I want the red and yellow Hogan. My Hogan. I want my Hogan back. That's what VKM did. VKM killed whatever was not his creation.
That is true, 100%. Now, last topic before we end the show, and of course, it kind of blends with what we were speaking about a couple minutes ago, and that is, of course, Mercedes Moné. And when we talk about Mercedes Moné, I wanted to ask you, but I kind of know, we kind of answered it because you kind of insinuated already, but my question to you was, is Mercedes Moné losing all her belts tarnishing her career? Because here's the thing. You mentioned, hey, she's doing a hell of a job. This is what she wanted to do, right? But she won all these belts, and now she has to lose them one by one, which she has. And we haven't even seen her in AEW for a minute. So, in a way, like, what achievement are you getting out of this? Because you became, 12? I think she won 12 titles in total. And now, all of a sudden, she's lost every single one of them. What's the purpose of this? Like, isn't this gonna, like,
She brought a light to those federations. She brought a light to other women. She brought a light to a lot of the international federations that maybe necessarily wouldn't have got that light because of Mercedes Moné wouldn't go over there and do what she was doing. But
do you agree with what Brother BKL is saying that Mercedes Moné is gonna maybe possibly retire?
I mean, look, here's the thing, man. She's been in WWE. She's been women's champion. She's been tag team champion. She went to AEW. She's got the TBS champion. She hasn't won the AEW heavyweight championship yet, right?
No, she hasn't.
So I think you'll get that run, and then I could see it. Because, again, what she's doing now, though, honestly, when she's not wrestling overseas, she's resting. Like, she's resting her body. She's getting her body back and better and doing these, again, it's long trips, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But she's not wrestling every, night or whatever, where she's not flying back for AEW, leaving, coming back for AEW Collision, leaving, coming back for Dynamite. No, she's been away, which I think is a good move, and I think it's a calculated move by her. I think she's very calculated in how she wanted this to go. I don't think she wanted to be in that feud so quickly with Tony Storm. I think she wanted to go longer and be out of that but it just became that she had to because there was nobody else there. So I think I would say by the end of 2027, if she continues on this path and she gets an AEW title run, I think she might have accomplished everything she wanted to accomplish in the wrestling ring.
How old is Mercedes Moné, man? She's 30, she's 34, so she's still young. Yeah. She's still out there. You give her another, she could, wrestlers.
No, I'm saying her decision to leave in 2027. Not like she's got to retire with this and that. I think she makes the concerted effort that I'm going to move on and try something else. I've done everything I can do in the ring.
The only thing about Mercedes Moné is that if she was to leave the wrestling world, what is there out there for her? Like, what can she do? Like, I don't think...
I remember she did some of the Star Wars stuff, right? She was in The Mandalorian.
Oh, I never watched any of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, she was in Mandalorian. So I think she could get some stuff.
Maybe she has how was she in the Star Wars movies? Did she have the talent?
She had a very small role, like as far as she was on screen a lot. She only talked very little.
Yeah.
But it was good. She looked natural. Not out of spot. I don't know how many takes it took. I don't know if it took 300 takes to get that one part, but she looked good in the edited and the part that made very good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I mean, I never watched
I
Star
believe
Wars,
she was. Hold on a minute, man. Let me double check.
but I'll take a look at it.
I may be wrong, man. Hold on.
No doubt is calling you out. He's like, what? Was she in the Mandalorian? Hell, I
She
don't
was.
know.
She was part of the crew that helped out the Mandalorian. I can't think of the name of it. Hold on.
Hold on, let me see. Star Wars. Was she in Star Wars? I'm gonna Google this. Yeah, she was in Star Wars actually.
Mandalorian, right?
Yeah, she was. It says
Yeah.
Mercedes Renee. It says is an actor, professional wrestler. She is best known for her work. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to read this. Uh, what did she do? What movie did she do? She did. Yeah, she did the Star Wars, The Mandalorian, Chapter 11, the Harris. I guess is the name.
Yeah, I think she was in 2 episodes. It rolled over, I believe. There's 2. Yeah.
Yeah,
She was back for another part in a thing. Again, I'm not saying, I'm just saying there's only so much you can do, in what she wants to do. She's to me it feels like she's not into it to win the title 297 times. Like, like a Charlotte Flair wants to win more times than her dad or something like that. She's in to put a spotlight on it and maneuver out, I feel like.
Okay,
That's
so
what-
this is what it looks like. It's the Mandalorian. It looks like it was a series, and
yes, it's a series.
and she appeared as Koska Reeves in the 3rd and 8th episode of the 2nd season and the 6th, 7th, and 8th episodes of the 3rd season of the Disney Plus live action TV series, The Mandalorian.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say she was in a few episodes. I know that much.
I didn't know she was in it. I mean, well,
Yeah.
I'm not a Star Wars person, so like you know what? I'm like when it comes to Star Wars, it's like you and Marvel. You have absolutely no idea what Marvel universe is and any of those movies. That's the same way I am with Star Wars. I'm not a fan of Star Wars, but maybe I'll start tuning in now that I see
Who's
that.
in the Marvel universe?
You got Iron Man, Spider Man.
Did you see?
Captain America.
No Doubt talked about it earlier.
When today?
We were talking about the fans, and I forgot. I saw it, and I wanted to talk about it, and then we started getting other ones, and it pushed it up. There was a wrestler who was autistic in the front row.
Yes, the Spider Man, the guy who
Spider-Man, yeah, and he slammed down the lady, and then
I did see
Yeah.
that. That was crazy.
but again, to me, that's where I'm. This is where it's tough, man, because I know dudes. You could tell he was, not all there, but you got to take him down at least. You can't. I mean, I was saying sit there and, stick them and this and that, but somebody should have been there to protect the lady in the ring and and again, I'm not saying you had to treat him like the guy that stabbed the person and punch him in the face 300 times and all this stuff, but at least get him down before he goes after the young lady and stuff. Like,
That was intense.
I don't know, man. Like, anytime somebody wasn't a part of the match that got near the ring, your spidey senses should tick up a little bit to go, all right, what are we doing?
Do you want to see the guy? I actually put up the video. I have the video.
Oh, no, I saw it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, because again, when we wrestled before, most of the federations in the indies don't have guardrails. So you're out by the seats, you're the chairs. So you keep an eye out as you're selling, you're doing your thing, but you're also watching to make sure nobody's attacking anybody from the back at the same time. You're hoping people are watching your back, and you have people in the back watching to make sure, things are going on too. So,
Sean, I will say this, bro. He body slammed the crap out of that woman.
oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it never should have.
I didn't
Yes.
see all that. I saw only the part where he jumped on and he was like going after the wrestler.
Oh,
but
no. He picked her up and just threw her down, man. Like, I
and
mean,
he's a big boy.
big boy. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the guy you tackle his ankles and just get him down, and hopefully you can hold him down. Like,
Holy crap, that was an intense video. If you guys haven't looked
Yeah.
it up, you can look at it. It says, just type in man in a Spider-Man costume leaves his seat, attacks the wrestler at an indie show, and then body slams a woman. That's how I found it. Impressive. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty scary. Like, he was like, he's probably bigger than you, Sean.
yeah. He looked huge, man. When he
he
stood up on the ropes were like up to his midsection almost,
Dude,
man. I was like, dude,
The girl that he did the body slam with,
yes.
she wasn't even that big. She was a skinny little girl. Oh my
No,
God.
small, man. Small, dude. And when that happens, sometimes, again, when you're wrestling and you're getting slammed, you know how to take the bump. She got slammed right on her arm and shoulder. Like she just got picked up and thrown like a bag of potatoes, man.
Yeah, he was wearing the black Spider-Man costume too. He wasn't wearing like the actual Spider-Man cool costume.
Venom.
So he was there you go. That explains it why he reacted that way. He had that venom in him. So see, you do know a little bit about Marvel, well, at least Spider-Man. But yeah, that was pretty much it, sir. Unless you got anything else you wanted to talk about before we end the show. I know we're ending a little bit shorter, so that's good. I know you had to go.
Yeah. Well, no, I just think sometimes we go a little too long. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. So, but I do want to thank brother BKL, new into the chat.
Yeah,
First
man.
time I've seen him. I don't know if he's joined in before, but we appreciate you and thank you so much for being a part of the chat. No doubt as well. Always. Adrian was in.
Samurai
was in. Cottontism, baby. I want to thank also Omni R's run for TNGBWVB. I will be checking out the hightech.online. Terry Davis, the bomb. I appreciate you, my man, always. Hope everything's still going good for you and the family. Adrian was in as well. Me papa was in as well. And also want to say once again, happy birthday to Tony today. Happy birthday to Mama Fresco tomorrow. So hope you guys have a safe and great celebration.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. If you're watching the show, don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to hit the follow. Go to both of our channels. We're streaming both in both of our channels. So Stanley Media House and then obviously mine, the Fresco channel. Just type in the Fresco like you see it there. And then you can follow me on all social media platforms on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. And then if you guys are in the South Florida, basically in the Miami location, your boy Frankie Fresco is always out there DJing. So if you follow me on my social media, you'll see where I'll be at DJing here and there. Always trying to do some big things. I got some things coming up. I mean, there's something big, bro. I'm trying to roll something huge. There's something big.
Is it a brouhaha?
This is something big, man. There's a possibility, Your boy Frankie Fresco, you might be hearing him very, very soon going somewhere big, bro. Like I'm praying. I mean, I think God always lines things in certain ways in order to better you. And then I think, I took a risk, obviously. What I did this past week is not something that you really typically see me do because I have my 9-to-5 job. So I kind of coordinated that way I could do my 9-to-5, and then I took the days off that I needed and I made this change and I went that route, and I think it's paying off. So we'll see. There's a couple of things I'm bringing up again. There's a very good chance also that my let me talk to you podcast, because my brother is still not we're not there yet to bring that podcast, but definitely the Cameo Mix Show, which is my mix show that I do. I was doing it every week, is coming back. So that's in the works as well. So if you guys are love music and all that stuff, your boy Frankie Fresco is going to bring that back as well. And then hopefully you guys can tune in. So I don't want to take up more of your time. I know sometimes I start just blabbering. So I'll pass the mic over to Sean. That way he could tell you guys where they can follow him.
SS_sports talk on X, Stanley Media House, everywhere else. Again, hit the follow, subscribe on Stanley Media House Network. Also on the Frankie Fresco YouTube channel. Frankie Fresco, anything else you got to add, my man?
We got WrestleMania in about 2 weeks, right? So we're doing...
We do.
I don't think I'm going to be able to do... I mean, it depends. If we do both day 1 and day 2 pre-shows, I'll probably only be able to do the second pre-show because I already looked at my calendar and I'm already booked to DJ that Saturday. So I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't know, Adrian, if you're going to be doing... If Adrian's still on the chat board for NXT this weekend. But if he is... I'll see if I could do something. I know I'm busy. I'm busy like always. I'm always DJing, which is a blessing. But yeah, let me know, man. Let me know. Are we doing something for WrestleMania? Even if it isn't with Adrian and Tony, if they can't do it, then we could probably do something ourselves.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We always usually work with them with 2 Raw, 2 for SmackDown. So we'll have something that weekend, definitely.
Oh, Wilfred is
going.
there.
What?
Wilfred
is there. AEW. You're a little late, buddy.
You missed
Ah
it.
ooh, ah ooh, ah ooh, ah ooh. What are you saying, man? Ah ooh, ah
Well,
ooh, ah ooh.
you know what? You can't blame the fans today because we have been slacking. No, not slacking. We've had some situations, right? I had my injury.
Yeah,
You had
I had
something
mine.
happen. You had your situation last week, so it's like that's why, guys, we apologize. It's not like we're just taking 1 week off and then coming
Yeah,
back. It's just it has, unfortunately, like it's
we're
been
doing
one after
pop-up
one.
events here on the
Yeah, it's
Squared Circle
like
Digest.
I think did Dan Housing cursed both
Yeah,
of
I
us?
think he cursed us. Yeah, Danhausen got us.
Because, bro,
Damn it.
it was me 2 weeks ago and or
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, and then it was you last week. So I was like,
Yep.
damn, like we're having like a pretty cursed run here, but
Yes.
hopefully everything goes well.
Hopefully it's all worked out. Don't forget again, please
Yeah.
jump over to Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel, Frankie Fresh YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe, hit the notifications to let you know when we go live. We got the wrestling show here on Tuesdays. South Florida Sports Unfiltered. I will not be there Friday.
Oh,
We'll let you know, or maybe we're doing a later show. I'm not sure. We're still working on that. And then NASCAR, we talk on Mondays, but we are off this week because no race on Easter because NASCAR loves the rabbit. And in the words of the great Gordon Soley, so long from the Sunshine State.
The Square Circle Digest.